In the era of social media, it's not uncommon to come across influencers who are living the dream life that many of us aspire to have. One such influencer is Hannah Nealman, also known as Ballerina Farm. She's a millennial mother of 8 who lives on a working farm in Utah with her husband and 8 children. She shares her simple and happy life as a first-generation homesteader, raising pigs, baking cakes, cooking, and homeschooling her cute children on her YouTube channel and other handles. But her seemingly perfect lifestyle has sparked controversy and criticism among many. Well, people have been questioning her lifestyle, her choices, and her motives. Some criticized her for her recent participation in the Mrs. World pageant, while others have accused her of being rich and anti-feminist. Some have even gone as far as saying that she is not a real homesteader and has a nanny to take care of her kids. So, what's the real story behind Ballerina Farm and why are people hating her? Let's start with how Daniel and Hannah Nealmans got into farming. Both born and raised in the city, they had no prior experience in farming or homesteading. Their love for rural life was ignited while they were working abroad in Brazil. Upon returning home to Utah, they purchased land in Birdseye, envisioning their own ranch. With 3 boys and a girl already, and more children on the way, they started farming and homesteading without any prior experience. Hannah, a ballerina turned homesteader, documented this incredible journey online, sharing her experiences of raising many children, tending to farm animals, baking bread, and capturing videos as her kids milks cows and feeds pigs. People were able to relate to their video as they tackled each problem that came along their way in homesteading with a smile while her cute kids helped her out. Due to this, she gained a massive following on her Instagram and TikTok accounts, which now exceed 8.9 million and 7 million on their respective handles. But somewhere along the line, people began to question the authenticity of Hannah's portrayal of homesteading life. Her life appeared to be too perfect, with her family living in a picturesque rural setting, raising animals and making their own food. Matter only turned worse when people noticed that the stove they used was expensive, which did not comply with their portrayal of a rural family farmer who sells meats and other products to earn. This led to people digging into their past lives, and as it turned out, they were not poor. In fact, Daniel's father is David Nealman, who founded JetBlue amongst various other airlines, and Daniel himself is the heir to a multi-million fortune. When people found this out, they were obviously angry with lack of transparency, and even criticized the Nealman family, stating they were merely privileged individuals playing at being down to earth, using their trust fund to maintain a facade of authenticity. Before we get further into the topic, let's get updated with Hannah's current life. Well, Hannah and her husband have been building a huge dairy farm on their property. All family members are actively involved in farming while their kids also help greatly, often cooking, milking, or taking care of their newly born sister, Flora. Well, the Nealman family are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Sadly, Hannah lost an important member of her family, her father, in February 2024. Now let's get back to the controversy. Well, there were people who also began to question whether Nealman's homeschooled children were truly happy and well-behaved. Whispers also began to circulate that Hannah has hired nannies to look after their 8 children and take care of other household chores behind the scenes. What's interesting is that, according to a Vox report, they purchased their 300-acre farm in 2018 for $2.75 million, which has only added fuel to the fire. Now, let's talk about the recent controversy. As you might know, besides being a ballerina dancer and momfluencer, Hannah has participated in and won numerous beauty pageants, including being crowned as Mrs. American pageant in 2023. However, when she announced that she would be participating in the Mrs. World pageant shortly after giving birth to her 8th child, Flora, many people were outraged. According to Glamour, a lot of people felt that by competing in a pageant so soon after giving birth, wearing makeup and traveling, and even slipping into a fancy dress while probably still recovering, she was being, at best, recklessly irresponsible and, at worst, deceitfully manipulative. Many critics commented that she was portraying an unrealistic idealism for what motherhood is actually like. Despite the gossip, she made it all the way to the top 17. So, what do we think about Hannah? Well, it's clear that Hannah Nealman's life is not as simple and idyllic as it seems. But does that mean she's a fake, a fraud, or a bad person? We don't think so. Yes, Hannah and her husband come from a privileged background, and her portrayal of her homesteading life may be overly romanticized. But let's not forget that she's also a hardworking mother of 8, raising her children while running a farm, homeschooling them, and pursuing her passions. As for the Mrs. World pageant controversy, we believe that it's ultimately up to Hannah to decide what she wants to do with her life. It may not be a choice that everyone agrees with, but as long as she's not harming anyone else, we should respect her right to make her own decisions. We hope that this video has shed some light on the Ballerina Farm controversy, and helped you to form your own opinion. So make sure to share what you think about Hannah and her family in the comments below. Until next time, goodbye.